time to start over.
Yesterday I went long on USD/JPY. It didn't go very well, and in this video we're going to talk a little bit about my updated thoughts on the US dollar, a position that I am now taking, and a little bit of a response to some of the comments that were made yesterday with my USD/JPY trade that failed miserably in front of everyone. So let's go ahead and take a look at that now. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. My name is Nick. I talk all about trading Forex, and I really do try and keep it real. When I share something that ends up being a loser, I'm very quick to talk about it. I'm not afraid to talk about my losses because I think that we can all learn a lot from them. So I ended up going long on dollar yen yesterday. I bought here at this level. After we retested this level of support, I was looking for something to hold. Now, on top of this, at the same time, we were seeing some news coming through with the Russia-Ukraine situation about a potential summit or peace talks or something to get past this whole situation. With all of the data that I had at the time being, I decided I'll take a small position on the dollar yen on the long side, looking for a recovery. Of course, in hindsight, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, short at that time, and I was silly for going long. And trust me, my comment section let me know about it too. But I was basically looking for a trend continuation play here. Dollar yen overall has been trending higher. I am still long biased on this pair, but I'll give you guys my updated thoughts in just a moment. Either ways, I ended up getting stopped out here on this candle, and of course the market played me like a fiddle. Price went all the way down, knocked me out of my stop loss, and then came back up. Has this ever been a situation you're in? Because I'm probably willing to guess that's probably happened to all of us. But anyways, my thoughts here with dollar yen, of course, were an opinion. And whenever I take an opinion, I make sure to know that I can be wrong and that I can stop out with a small loss if I need to. So what I figured we could do is we could just take a second to react to some of the comments yesterday on that video. I'm going to do my best to just remain impartial and not get upset or anything like that, you know, because comments are comments, but we'll take a look at that and see if we can respond to some comments now. Okay, so we had some people commenting about my trade yesterday. It was not a very popular trade. A lot of people disagreed with me, and that's okay. Sometimes when everyone disagrees with you, that's a great signal. Other times they're just right. And in this case, the dollar yen did come down lower. So to the credit of people who are commenting that, you know, it's bearish, hey, you know what? You won this one. In the long term, it's all good though, because you can take small losses and it doesn't kill you. The whole idea is that if you have an idea, things can change. Because again, in my situation here, my thought was, okay, potential summit, things may have found a bottom here and we could find a nice risk to reward. But of course, things worsened overnight, things got scary, and I was stopped out of my trade. It happens. Anyways, so I wanted to respond to a couple comments real quick, and then I'll talk about a trade setup that I am currently in just a moment. This was my favorite comment so far, so check this out. Daryl says, yeah, any freaking time I listen to people on YouTube, I lose money. If you guys were so good, you could not have time to waste on YouTube channels. Thanks a freaking lot. So, of course, I understand Dariel's a little bit upset with me because I shared an idea which I lost, but just newsflash, I also lost money too. Like I took an L on this trade. I lost a couple $100 on this move. Either ways, the point is I can lose too. I am not by any means a 100% all the time winning trader. Everybody takes losses, right? Everybody experiences situations where things go against, and I'm not a fortune teller. I try and say this often on my YouTube channel. I don't know with certainty where the markets are going, and news is news for a reason. It's new information that can change the direction of the markets on a dime. So that's why we risk small, right? I responded, of course, cheekily, bad trades happen, small entry, small loss, can always re-enter at a later point. I'm still bullish on this pair. I'm just looking for a better chance to try again, and you know, waiting for another sign of potential bullishness before doing that. How much are you risking on gold? It was a question. Why would you go long? Why would you go against the risk off currency? War seems pretty inevitable at the time. I'm currently very long JPY CHF. Kaizen says this, and you know, hey, to be fair, I made the point in yesterday's video. I was at the time long on gold as kind of a hedge to this situation. So I was buying a very risk off asset like gold, and also looking to go long dollar yen because there was the potential of a turning point. The problem here, of course, with YouTube comments and sometimes with your own head is that there's hindsight involved, right? Hindsight is 2020. Oh, you should have known that Putin was going to do this in Russia. And, you know, that's a little bit, you know, up for debate. Hate to say I told you I love your content, but that was a terrible trade. And I'm not going to defend it. Of course, it was a trade that I lost. But the point is, right, you can take stabs at the market and sometimes you're just wrong. And the point is you risk small, you lose small, and you move on. But yeah, so anyways, just a couple comments. I just want to remind you guys, please know, like when I come up with an idea, I may be wrong.
What?
And it's not something here that I'm some sort of magician and I always win. But let's talk a little bit about a trade that I currently am in right now. I'm floating $63. We'll see if this one goes well in my favor. I'm still looking for dollar longs. So again, I mentioned I went long on dollar yen. It didn't quite work out. And then I look for a chance to re-enter. And that's the point, right? There, I take a small loss because it gives me the chance to throw another dart, try again, take another stab at it. Because with small stop losses in place, the cool thing is that I can be wrong most of the time and still make money. So I'm looking for more continuation here on the euro dollar. I did decide to go short here this morning. Basically, we saw some rejection on the London session. And then as we started to see that rejection, I decided, okay, yeah, I want a chance to enter. We saw a pop back up to that area and I decided to take my sell. My stop loss in this case for this trade is a move back above structure here. If we get anywhere above this, I'm just going to stop out. I'm risking, I believe it's 30 pips. Let me just double check that. Okay, yeah, it was 30 pips. So I'm risking 30 pips here with the idea being, okay, we saw some rejection during the London session. We rejected heavily at this area here at 1.1377. And I'm fundamentally bearish on the euro, bullish on the dollar at this time. The dollar in this case, in my opinion, is more attractive because the euro's close proximity to the whole Ukraine and Russia situation is making me a little bit more willing to bet on the safe haven, the global reserve currency, that US dollar. Because of course, any worsening sanctions and situations in terms of trade with Russia and between Europe and Russia could be negative impacting to the European economy. And so in that case, I'm bearish on the euro for the time being and looking for the dollar to come through. So my idea here being, we have a couple levels of interest. If I look at the 1 hour chart, my first stop in terms of a potential target is about a 1-to-1 move down to this area. At this point, I could probably see myself moving stops to break even, go ahead and lock in some of the trade there. And then if price continues lower, we could probably see some opportunities to maybe trail stops further with structure. My approach to trading is I generally am looking to trail stops using price action. So if we were to break this level, that would be, in my view, a good opportunity to move stops to break even and maybe even further down. So that's kind of what I'm looking for in terms of euro dollar. Target one being around 1.1319, and then of course the previous low at 1.1290. So here's the thing, right? I'm risking small too on this trade. I'm risking about $200, another small size position, nothing crazy in case price goes against me. Things are very, very crazy in markets. And despite having a couple losers this week, I actually am still overall up in terms of a risk to reward basis because of my gold trade. Now I'm actually, for those of you guys who have been following along with my thoughts on gold, I am out of my gold trade. I stopped out here on this move back in terms of, so I entered back around here, was able to trail stops all the way up to this point, and then put my stop below this structure point, which was admittedly very aggressive. I was very, very tight with my stop. Was able to stop out for that profit of about 490 pips, which was a 6R give or take trade, 6 times my risk, which was really a pretty good move. So despite having a loss on UJ, and also I took a small loss on AUD USD, despite all that, still in a great situation overall the last week or two in my trading. So that's kind of what I'm looking for on gold, or for now I'm stopped out of gold. My entry interest on gold could be a potential retest of structure here at 1890. This area did not quite get tagged here this morning, but we've seen some pretty aggressive bulls in this area with an overall drifting upward trend due to the Russia-Ukraine situation. I think that the path of least resistance for gold for the time being is still to the upside. I think we have potential to make a move back up to the previous high. And then we've discussed on the higher time frames a potential move to 1950, big round number, and also a key spot on the daily chart, major past resistance around 1950, 1960, that range. So we'll see if we can get some momentum to continue. I am no longer in my gold trade. For those of you guys who have been keeping up with me, we'll look for potential to re-enter. But for now, like I said, short on euro dollar, the idea being a move back down to some structure. And going off the fundamentals and technicals here with a tight stop loss. That's my main approach on euro dollar. Of course, if I take any trades or update any of my positions, I share all of them within our private Discord channel. Let me pull that up for you just so you can see what it looks like. So anytime I take a trade, this is what it looks like. Ivan sent me a message. We'll have to check that soon. But yeah, I ended up going short on euro dollar this morning, basically with all the stuff we've been talking about due to the Russia and Ukraine situation. bearish, biased, and looking to just risk 30 pips above the structure there. So that's kind of my thoughts. I share the full breakdowns with every trade I take. If you'd like to join the Discord, there's a link down below in the description. And if you use that promo code, you can get access for a discounted rate as a subscriber. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, thumbs it up, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you next time. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching today's video. There are more videos available on our channel here and here, so go ahead and click into that for some more free trading content. With that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you back next time.